Good morning, everyone. So, if you remember correctly, I had this bad boy that I was trying to shut last week. The Captain's a Crush 2.5. Oh, so close. You know, when I'm doing this, you're going to notice something. One, I can't close it. Two, my hand isn't breaking. My bones aren't breaking. My muscle's not tearing. I'm just simply running out of energy. So today we're going to talk about the system that provides us with that immediate energy, the phosphagen system, how long it lasts, and what we can do to train it, and why it's important to train it. So if you guys don't know, this is the Psionic Warrior Protocol, and I am Justin. I'm here talking about my experience, trying to improve my life, become elite, and learn a lot of science. So while I learn the science, I take it and I give it to you so that if you want to learn it along with me, you can. So when we look at the phosphagen system, the phosphagen system doesn't rely on donuts or steak. I mean, I love eating those things. They're delicious. And we might have heard that food gives us our power. That's kind of not true. So we take that food in, and then it has to be converted into usable forms. In particular, our muscles use something called ATP, adenosine triphosphate. And whenever we do anything, we move our hands, we blink, we have a heart that beats, it breaks apart a phosphate bond, and it releases energy so that these things can occur. And if we think about ATP, it's like cash versus a gold bar. If I wanted to go to the coffee shop and I wanted to purchase a coffee, I'm not going to take a big hunking gold bar in there and slam it on the counter and say, hey, I'd like to buy a coffee with this. Now, maybe it'll work and the cashier will take your gold bar that's worth way more than the coffee, give you coffee and say, have a nice day. But that's probably unlikely, and they're likely not going to have the ability to give you change from what the gold bar is worth anyway. So you have to take that gold bar, bring it to the bank, convert it to something liquid so that you can actually use that value in order to purchase your coffee. And that's what our food is like a gold bar. We've got to get it digested, so it gets converted into ATP, which is like cash that's readily available to use for our system. And when we look at our energy systems, we can look at it, it's called bioenergetic systems, and the bioenergetic systems essentially have three different parts. We have the phosphagen, we have the glycolytic, and then we have the oxidative. And today we're only going to talk about the phosphagen system, which is our immediate quick response power system. And if we look at Donut here is a rogue. Donut rolled rogue because she likes to quickly get DPS. Yes, I have rolled a rogue so I can have massive DPS spikes. But the issue with the rogue is that a rogue has limited energy. So you can't DPS over and over and over and over and over again without taking some sort of break. If you try to max out your damage right away, your power right away, you don't have appropriate rest, well, your damage suffers. And this is the same thing when we look at lifting or power. We have our phosphagen system, which max peak power is about 2 to 3 seconds in, and the whole system lasts maybe 10, 12 seconds. Because after we use all the available ATP, then we have this phosphocreatine that's available to quickly convert that ATP over for use for the phosphagen system, but that lasts only about 10, 12 seconds at most. So it's rapidly depleted and requires a lot of recovery. And why does this matter? If this is such a short-term system, it only lasts maybe 12 seconds, and the max output is only like 2 to 3 seconds in at most, why would we even train it? Well, one, you want to be the baddest person in the gym who can lift the most amount of weight. Okay. That aside, there is some usefulness for this as well. We go back to gerontology, and we have that use it or lose it principle. If you don't use something, you lose it. And where would you need a really rapid response system? Well, to keep you safe. Say you're walking along and it's a little bit slick outside, like it is over in where I'm at right now because it's winter, and you slip on a patch of ice. You want a system that you can immediately react with and wave out your hands, put out your foot to stop yourself from falling down. Because if you fall and you hit the cement, then it could be catastrophic, especially as you get older. You might break a femur or a hip, and this corresponds really strongly to mortality. So if you have a system that allows you to stay balanced and protect yourself from falling, that's amazing. Or if you need it just to get away really quickly from a situation that's dangerous, you've got that phosphagen system. Or you're in traffic and you need to react really quickly. That helps do that with the phosphagen system. So we need that immediate response, rapid response system that we train using power methods. Now the problem is that the phosphagen system has a long work to rest ratio, and at the very least it's 1 to 12, if not 1 to 20. So what does this mean? For every 1 second that you engage the system, in order for it to get fully replenished, you have to at least wait 12 seconds, if not more, up to 20 seconds. If I'm smashing out some deadlifts and I take a 10-second set, I've got to wait at least 2 minutes or 120 seconds before I attempt it again, or else I'm operating at suboptimal levels. And in fact, I'm going to just make the argument that I'm probably operating at suboptimal levels if I don't wait longer. I might need to wait as much as 3.5 or more minutes so I can fully replenish those phosphocreatine stores. Because if we don't, then we're losing power and we're not training the system as effectively. One thing that we can take, and this is something that has been, well, there's my dog over there. This is something that has been well researched and it's very safe. It's not a steroid. It's not human growth hormones. It's creatine. Creatine monohydrate is a supplement that you can take, and it allows you to have more creatine available inside of your muscles for ATP resynthesis. Oh, poor Churro wants in the room. We're almost done. So what it does is it actually gives you a bigger battery so that phosphagen system can go to the full maybe 10, 12 seconds without wearing out as quickly. And the last point I kind of want to make with this is that if you have some maladaptive behaviors like an addiction, or you have a hard time finding pleasure in things for whatever reason, maybe you're depressed, training the system can also help to release dopamine. Being able to engage the system, even for a short period of time, gives a massive dopamine spike. And say you're struggling with a craving, or you really want to go, if you're addicted to a substance, you want to use your substance of choice. If you're addicted to food, you want to binge eat. If you're feeling depressed, you don't want to do anything, you just want to sit on the couch. Well, this can give you that quick spike you need. You don't need a ton of time, 10, 15 minutes at most. Load up a bar with some heavy weight, hit a few reps for 5 to 10 seconds, rest a few minutes, do it again, do it again, do it again. And at the end of that, you're probably going to feel better because of the dopamine that's released. In addition, if you want to level up this particular mode of coping, you can set your timer. Well, you want to anyway to make sure that you're resting long enough. Set your timer and do nothing. Absolutely nothing. No scrolling on your phone, no reading your text messages. Just sit there. Meditate for those 3 to 5 minutes that you're waiting between sets. That can also help train your brain to be patient. Anyway, if you know any other benefits of using that phosphagen system, please drop them down in the comments. And until next time, see you later.